Hey there, TJ here with Technological Gadgets, bringing you the best in tech and making it work for you. On this channel, we usually do tech reviews, but some other times we do, we do check out other people's setups. And in this video in particular, we'll be checking out our good friend over at ScatterVolt. He is a YouTube content creator who does videos about tech, more specifically on the PC side of things. So be computers, laptops, PC parts, PC components, PC peripherals, all of that stuff. And we'll be checking out his setup and probably his where he creates his content as well. So if you like these types of videos, make sure to drop me a like to let me know, and comment down below whose setup you'd like me to check out next. I'm really interested in checking out other people's setups and hopefully improve my own. But also make sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. It helps me a lot and this channel as well, and best of all, it's completely for free, so why not? But without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Hello and welcome to the ScatterVolt's channel, and today, don't click away, I know this looks a bit different from the usual, but I want to bring you guys my updated 2022 personal gaming.
Oh wow, that looks good though.
Setup. Now, if you haven't caught last week's video,
so it's like an all-in-one, like kind of mine, where you have the gaming and productivity all in one. Okay, yeah, I see it.
Important update video, and I do recommend that you guys watch it. But one of the important things about it was that I moved into a new house, which might seem a little bit unbelievable, because if this is your first video back, this looks exactly like last year's gaming setup. But within my move, I've changed a few things and updated some of the quirks on the gaming setup here behind me, and it's been much easier to use. I guess you could say it almost looks a little bit plain because it hasn't really changed much from last year, but functionally, it is a lot better. So I want to share those changes and updates with you guys, and maybe take some of those away for your own personal gaming setup or productivity setup at home. Which, speaking of, all the products I'll be talking about in this video will be linked in the description below if you are at all curious to check them out. You don't have to, but if you want to see the updates I've made, I'll go moderately in depth. So I guess the first thing I'll start off with is the new gaming speaker. So this is different because before I had two monitor speakers on my desk mounted not upright but on their sides, and it was a little bit weird. I thought it kind of off-put the gaming setup a little bit, so it looked a little bit weird almost. But this new LG GP9 gaming speaker that I got,
I guess it really depends though, because he's probably those speakers that he had before probably has like better sound quality and stuff like that. But if he's not using for like his speakers for, like, let's say, for accurate monitoring and stuff like that, and he uses it mainly for just listening to music and stuff like that, and not like audio sensitive work, then I think maybe this speaker might be much better. But it depends on what he does.
Takes care of that speaker functionality that I want.
Yeah, it's more compact too,
so adds a few things on top of that. Not only is it a high quality gaming speaker, but it's also a high quality DAC. So if I wanted to plug in a pair of headphones for like any audio monitoring, editing a video, I can also do that and switch to the headphones. Or if I wanted to actually call somebody, I don't even need to use the boom mic, because that speaker has a built-in microphone.
It's like an all-in-one solution
as well as you're talking to somebody. So it's a very versatile gaming speaker that also looks super sick on this gaming setup, and even masks the triple monitor mount that I have clamped on the back of the desk. So it does a lot of really cool things, and it's really tied together my gaming setup to make it look way cooler and still be really functional. So that is a really cool addition to my gaming setup here, that if you guys want to check it out, I'll have a link to it. You can get it at Micro Center right now. It's a little bit pricey, but it should be the end-all be-all.
Yeah, it's like an all-in-one solution, right?
Gaming speakers for you, if you were at all curious. And then let's get into my gaming peripherals, which haven't really changed much. For the keyboard, I am still using the Keychron K6. I have been requested a few times to look into custom gaming keyboards, and yeah, if I have the time, I'll look into it. I really could use somebody who could just like summarize the whole like custom gaming keyboard sphere for me in like 2 minutes. Like all the different keycaps, why they're so much more special over the regular stuff that you can get from like, Newegg or Amazon. and why I should do it, and if it's gonna like blow out my bank account. If someone could do that for me, that'd be super helpful. But
I guess so.
I'm sticking it with this K6. It's got LK optical brown switches, so optical, not exactly mechanical, so it might give me a little bit more like responsiveness if I were to play an FPS game on the
okay. I see.
And even then, this could still be used with a wire cable if I were really antsy about my latency, which there's not that much of a difference between wired and wireless. I can't tell. Maybe a computer can, but I can't personally. Otherwise, this is totally fine, and I'm going to continue using it. But the mouse has changed. I'm no longer using a G305. I'm using this G Pro Super.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty.
And really, the main.
It's a pretty like how would you say, like a pretty reasonable upgrade. Cause if you know the G305 is like a I guess a budget version of this in a way, where it's more heavier and stuff like that. Stuff like that. So yeah, it's a good transitional upgrade, I would say. Good upgrade.
Reason why I went with this,
it's more comfortable too.
Lighter. It can make me feel more competitive in first-person shooter games if I were to play with my friends, like on Halo Infinite, for example. And this is a bit lighter than that modded G305 that I had.
Yeah, definitely.
Ion battery.
Yeah, that I think the G305, if you mod it, it's around like 75 grams, maybe 70 grams, but this is like 60 grams, I think.
And the custom 3D printed backplate mod, or front plate, my bad. But this is just a little bit better.
Yeah, true.
It's been doing the job. But again, I don't take
first-person
shooters that seriously. Like, I don't even have a desk pad here for that reason. I take one other genre of PC gaming, though, really seriously, which I'll talk about in a bit. But otherwise, G Pro Superlight. Oh, headset. This has gotten a slight upgrade. Before, I was using Corsair Virtuoso SEs, but now I'm using Virtuoso XTs. And this for about the same price as when I got the original ones from Corsair. This has better audio, better microphone.
That's what I heard.
More battery life, better build quality. Like, these ear cups are still just as stiff as they were on day one, whereas the SEs, they kind of fell apart after a few months. And it's just all around better. And it's like the perfect wireless gaming headset for me if I ever need to just plug something and listen to something in my ears and then take them off. So they're really handy. And I, again, recommend this
if he doesn't want to use the speakers
of wireless gaming headsets. I don't have the microphone attached right now because I have like two other options for it: the LG GP9 or the boom arm. We'll get into the boom arm and all that audio stuff later. Onto the one gaming gear I kind of did spend a good chunk of money on. This here is an Xbox Series Elite 2 controller. Now, I know what you're thinking. You have a mouse and keyboard and you got a controller to play first-person shooter games? The heck are you doing? And I'd agree with you. But I don't use this for first-person shooter games. I use this top-of-the-line Series 2 Elite controller for simcade racing. So Forza Horizon 5 and whatever the next Forza Motorsports title is. I don't use this for Assetto Corsa or ACC. I have my own steering wheel and pedals for that, but for simcade stuff, this is king. And if you're curious on why this is better than the original like Xbox One or Xbox One X controller, here I actually got the tightness up on the right analog stick, so my steering is more precise, kind of like in real life where you want more weight on a steering wheel to be more precise and agile.
Oh, okay. That's
surprisingly, I don't have the paddles on it because it actually slows me down. I'm not gonna get into it. But my shift up and shift down is a bit interesting because I use the clutch in Forza Horizon and I use like the right thumbstick here, like to shift up and to shift down. It's weird. It's out of the bounds of this video to talk about, but overall, this was actually kind of worth it for me because I am always posting, if you exclude hackers on Forza Horizon 5, top 100 times in the Rivals board on the seasonal objectives. I'm pretty fast. I guarantee you, only a few people I know can beat me fairly.
Damn.
If you watch my Twitch streams, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Speaking of, you can find that in the description below. Okay, now
this guy is fast,
kind of mini accessories in my desk setup. Right next to the keyboard, I have a Sony CFX Express Type A card reader from my Sony a7S III that hooks up over USB-C, and conveniently, it's also the same port that I use for my Keychron K6 if I wanted to have a cable on it, if I weren't editing anything. I'm also using a Go XLR Mini for all of my audio mixing, along that's hooked up to the Rode pod mic. I know I'm kind of skipping things here. and that's connected to a Samsung, not Samsung, but Samsung 48-inch boom arm.
I guess it's a pretty good audio setup, I would say. Yeah, pretty like decent, like mid to like high-end setup, I would say. Mid-end setup kind of.
So really convenient. That's the main bread and butter for my
It's a, I guess, budget XLR setup, but in the grand scheme of like microphones, it's like, you know, it sounds like a mid-tier microphone in a sense. You know, the Go XLR and stuff like that.
Streaming is that Go XLR Mini, and right next to it is a Stream Deck Mini from Elgato that I can use to change scenes.
Yeah, he does stream on this setup. So this Stream Deck paired with this Go XLR, a really powerful setup.
On Streamlabs,
if you have the money,
stuff on Spotify on the fly, or even play my custom Supermax theme if I ever win a race in Forza Horizon on my streams. Okay, let's get into the stuff on top. For lighting, I have those same two Elgato key light Airs. Can control them over my desktop, really nice. Then I have my old Canon T7i as my main webcam.
I guess if you don't really need that extra brightness, the key light Airs I think are more worth it in my opinion, because the only good thing about the key lights is that it's maybe slightly more diffused and it's more brighter. I think the key light Airs, I think it's around 50 or 75% brightness. But you know, in his setup, since it's more darker, I don't think he needs the extra brightness. But if you're in a really like bright setup, like maybe in the office setup, then maybe you might need the key light instead of the key light Air. But in his situation, the key light Air definitely work fine.
That's hooked up to an Elgato Cam Link. The video quality is still pretty good, and I have a 24mm prime lens on there that I've had since like 2017. So it's still good, and I'm using it with like the default profile settings on the T7i, and I think that's about it for all the stuff.
Yeah, I guess for the
on top of the desk, other than the monitor solution.
You told us what you want, and we built it for you. Editor X.
Yeah, I guess so for the basically for this one itself, for his webcam itself, yeah, it's a really good like sort of DSLR setup. It's an APS-C sensor, yeah, and I would say just any like DSLR or mirrorless camera that you can hook up and that you can find, you know, cheap use, or as long as it works, you know, with a lens on it, like a prime lens on it, yeah, I think it definitely looks really good. It looks way better than a webcam, that even like a high like quality webcam, like a $200-300 webcam.
A little bit of an upgrade.
And you know, since he has this camera from so long ago, you know, it's pretty good, you know, to repurpose it like a, you know, $100, like $100 to $150 cam link, you know.
The actual monitor panels themselves have been the same since last year. They're the Gigabyte CV27Qs, I believe. So
triple monitor,
165 Hz, 1 milliseconds response time, IPS, slightly curved. I'm really satisfied with them because I've had them.
Yeah, I would say it actually, you know, in a triple monitor setup, you know, a slight curve actually does help, you know, and it does makes it look nicer. Like in my opinion, that, you know, that curve itself makes it look nice.
Just over a year and a half. I've had these for a while, nice, and they're holding up pretty good. But the monitor mount holding all three monitors has definitely gotten an upgrade.
Ooh.
I'm no longer using that independent triple arm monitor mount that was really just flimsy and wouldn't keep all my monitors straight all the time.
Oh yeah.
So I've now upgraded to this Echo Gear triple monitor mount that's a straight bar, and it holds all three of my monitors just perfectly. There's no independent.
I think it really depends though, because if you would like more flexibility, I think the previous one that he has is better. But if he just wants a triple monitor setup just like that, then this one is definitely way better.
To mess them up, and it looks way more streamlined, and I can make them look fancier, quicker. Whereas with the other one, I had to adjust all three arms perfectly with just the tuning and all that was just so. It was not fun. And this is just a straight bar, super quick to adjust. So the triple monitor mount has definitely gotten an upgrade. And if you're looking for a triple monitor mount, totally get this. It's strong enough for these 327-inch monitors.
Yeah, these look pretty heavy.
It's so nice. It's way better than my old one. And unlike my last deck setup, which I only had just a single plane, now I'm kind of rocking like a U-shaped desk setup. I have the main desk, a benchmarking desk, and then an extra auxiliary desk right here that I'm using to just like hold items on the table.
It's actually pretty good for his setup, since his setup is up against the wall. He can use the right wall, and then after that he can use the left wall probably near towards the door in a sense, and then stuff like that. Yeah, it looks
it's separated into two.
Yeah, it's definitely
parts.
really
the
good.
The main L shape of the main desk and this auxiliary desk is being held up with like a Mignol L desk standing desk setup, if I pronounced that correctly. I found that on Amazon for actually a pretty decent price, and it's been holding up well. And that took a little bit to install, and it was actually a little bit difficult to do it with one person, but I got it done, and I'm really satisfied with how it turned out, because I can have this whole section of this desk rise up, and it's really nice. And the same mostly applies for this other desk right here. I'm reusing another set of standing legs for this little mini desk right over here.
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of like not completely finished yet, but it's in the works. It's just my benchmarking station. And I think that's it. That's an overall summary of my desk setup. So in short, the new triple monitor mount is a lot better. I'm a really big fan of the extra versatility when it comes to audio that's been brought with the LG GP9 speakers. That's been really nice. I'm just happy that my computer finally works. When I moved here, it wasn't working at all for at least a solid 2
that's
months,
quite pain.
which is another reason why I couldn't upload videos for a while. And I basically had to rebuild my personal gaming PC from that ITX case 3 times. I don't want to get into the reasons why, but it was not fun. But my PC is finally working now in overtime, and overall, I'm happy with the setup. I think it'd be really cool to maybe like perk out the white panels, not the white panels, the white wall behind me with some V1 Tech wall art, because that looks really cool.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Pretty dope. But otherwise, this setup right here behind me, I think fulfills function right now. So I'm fine with that. I'll get to some aesthetics later, but function over aesthetics right now. And right now my setup is doing that really well. So hopefully you enjoyed my kind of rant style and just non-stop talking setup video. Hopefully you got through it and maybe learned a thing or two.
Yeah, definitely.
That's all I gotta say for the setup video, and expect more videos in 2022 because I'm all set up here in my new house.
Yeah, finally,
So
more videos from him.
Thank you so much for watching, and this is the ScatterVolt channel signing out.
Okay, let's take a look. Let's see a wide shot of his desk. Yeah, his cable management is really decent, I would say. Okay, so yep, so what do I personally think of his setup? Man, I personally really like his setup, like the way he has his triple monitors like kind of curved, and the way he has his PC behind his like left monitor, you know, to hide the PC a bit. You know, that, and you know, 2 key light S and stuff like that makes the whole setup look more compact and more kind of cleaner in a sense. And yeah, it is definitely a really good setup, you know, be it for creating content, you know, be it gaming, and especially streaming as well. Man, I think his streams are gonna look and sound really good. And in my opinion, you know, I really love his setup. And yeah, man, you have a really good setup, ScatterVolt, if you are you know, watching this video. But anyways, you know, if you like these types of videos, make sure to drop me a like to let me know, and you know, make sure to comment down below what other setups you'd like me to check out, and I will be sure to do so. You know, I always like checking out different setups and, you know, getting different inspirations and things like that, and also giving advice to, you know, the person and to y'all, you know, on how to, I guess, better improve the setup maybe. But anyways, you know, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel if you like to help me out, and what I do completely for free, so why not. But last but not least, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.